friends, it's Catherine from CatherinePluler.com, and today's video I'm going to be using some fabulous stamps by Winnie and Walter. We have a great challenge at Stamp Nation this week, and I made these two cards for that challenge and walked you through the process there. And I haven't put my supplies away. I'm going to make another card using the same exact supplies as I did on the first two. I'm using the big, the bold, and the extras, and the big, the bold, and the happy on today's card. I am using watercolor paper and some distress inks, and I'm going to be embossing. So we'll use this embossing static remover to remove the static from the paper so that the embossing powder hopefully does not stick to places that you don't want it. I have already lined up my happy birthday on this big block so that I can stamp it at once and it will be just in the place that I want it to be. Ink that up with the Versamark ink pad and stamp it down. I'm using this Wow embossing powder. It is rainbow black, and it's a pretty cool embossing powder. It's like black with some sparkle in it, and kind of like a white and green sparkle. It's very cool. And we'll keep that. I have a spot on here that didn't get fully embossed. I'm not really sure why, but that's when a Versamarker comes in handy. I don't use my Versamarker a ton, but when I use it, I really need it. Just gonna add a little bit more embossing powder on there and heat it again. I'm not done embossing. I'm gonna do some flowers, and I feel like it's heavy on the bottom left, so I'm gonna do some flowers up in the top corner. I just wanna add some of these roses. And my stamp is dirty from the last time I used it. That's all right. I'm gonna add some leaves. I don't want this whole stem. I just want the leaf part. So I'm gonna wipe the embossing powder off of the stem and just stamp the leaves. And next time when I ink it, I'm gonna try to avoid inking that stem as well. So we'll just get some leaves in here. There we go. I'm going to cover this with some white embossing powder and then heat it. Now comes the part I love the best. That's the watercoloring part. I'm going to make a palette of picked raspberry, festive berries, and spiced marmalade on my craft mat. I've been having a lot of people ask me about this craft sheet. It's by Ranger, and if you look on my blog or on my YouTube description, you will see links to all the products that I'm using here. I'm just going to fill in with some water, just trying to paint inside the lines here, and then I'll just pick up color and add it to my image, and it will naturally spread around on its own. If you have not tried this, you have to. It is so much fun. Done the same thing with mowed lawn and peeled paint for the leaves, and we'll just let this dry. Now, when I was quote-unquote finished, I stepped back and checked out my work and decided that I really wasn't finished, and so I added some more flowers, and I'm going to fill this one in with a light washing of the spiced marmalade, and then I'm going to pick up this red and I'm just going to touch it and see how that color bleeds and blends. Oh my gosh, that is so cool and so fun to do. So I will just paint in the rest of these and then we'll move forward with this card. I think these flowers look gorgeous. Just such a fun technique to play with. How many times have I said that? Now, there is a stamp in this set that I absolutely adore, and I bet it's going to surprise you when I tell you which one it is. It is this one right here. These 3 little tiny dots, but I will show you. When I was making this card for the Stamp Nation video, I totally messed up, and well, a few weird things happen on this card, but one thing that I love is these little dots as fill-ins. So I'm going to use them just the same as little fill-ins, and I'm going to heat emboss them. So one of the boo-boos that I had on that card was an embossing powder fiasco. So I'm gonna just use my little spatula to just place embossing powder right on top of those little dots. And I think that's gonna give some fun sparkle to this card. I have a card base here in white with a little strip of designer series paper. I'm just gonna add this panel on the front. Normally I would probably put this on dimensionals, but my watercolor paper is a little bit warpy, so I'm just gonna adhere it flat on. So I've added some sequins on here, some clear sparkling ones by Pretty Pink Posh, and I think it was just a really fun added element. Now I am seeing that I have like little black specks around. I'm okay with that because this is a really artsy look, but I think I want to add a little bit to that and do some paint drippings. I'm a little nervous to do this, so I'm gonna move this for a second and just experiment here. Because I want really big drops. I don't think I'm gonna get the big drops that I want, but that's all right. All right, I'm just gonna do some drops and let them fall where they may. Actually, these right here, I wish it landed on the project. Should I dare do one more? All right. So yeah, now that gave me some good little splatters of orange, and then I have splatters of black. So I think it works. And I got a really nice pattern right up there. So thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. Thank you to Winnie and Walter for sponsoring Stamp Nation's challenge this week. We're really excited to be working with your products. They're fantastic. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video tutorial. Now, if you love video tutorials and you love rubber stamping, you are going to love Stamp Nation. Hundreds of video tutorials, an amazing membership, and a great place to hang out and grow as a paper crafter. Go check us out using the link below. I hope to see you there. Have a great day.